Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to create a little Python project. It's good for beginners to get used to having while true loops, which is quite common in game menus, and having user input dictating the game. So it's a little Hangman project. The way I've set it up, you can set this up however you like in terms of what words it uses, but I've got DC characters, Marvel characters, anime characters. So I can select two. That'll select a Marvel character, and then we can guess our letters. So when we guess an incorrect one, it gets added to the list. When we guess a correct one, it goes there. So let's just try guessing a few letters. Oops. So I guess two at once there, that shouldn't work. So I got it wrong, I had too many guesses, and it's Thanos. Okay, and then comes up again. I could play again if I liked, but we're just going to close that and get straight into coding it. Okay, so we're just going to have one file in this. I'm going to call it hangman.py, and let's start by creating our sort of menu loop. So as soon as we run the file, we want this part to run. So we're going to say if name equals main, which just means this part of code, this block of code will run whenever we call the file. So the first thing I'm going to do is clear. So because we're saying clear from within a Python script, it's not going to clear. So we need to import OS and define that clear function. Define clear, and we're just going to say that's os.system cls for clear. Okay, so back to our loop now. First thing I'm going to do is set up our topics. So we have the first one, which is DC characters. You can put whatever you like here, but 2, which is Marvel characters. You can have more topics as well if you like. I'll show you why that will work in a second. And then 3, I'm just going to have anime characters. Okay, if you want to push yourself as well, rather than having topics and words set like this, try to create random words. Use some Python library to create random words. Okay, so once I've got these topics, I'm just going to copy and paste for speed, but then I'm going to use this data set, which is basically a dictionary with the topics as keys and then a list of characters or words to be guessed. Okay, so we've got all 3 topics in there as keys. Right, next thing we're going to have is this while true that I mentioned earlier. So this is just a way of looping through the menu until the player makes a choice. So if the player makes an incorrect choice, it'll still print what I'm about to print. So we're going to print an empty line and then just a header like that, and then so \t, which is a tab, so a couple of tabs, and then game menu. Let's have a few more dashes up here actually, and I'm going to have that below game menu as well. And then I'm going to go through the topics. So for key and topics, print, and we want to ask the user to press the key, and that is to select whatever topic that key is. Oops, I forgot in. So that's just going to go through 1, 2, 3. And then we also want to say press the length of topics. Oops. +1. To quit. Okay, so that part of code there, if you can see, we don't hard code the length for anything, and we're looping through so we can add as many topics as we want. Okay, just print a blank line to make it look nicer. And now we want to get the user input, so we're going to say try choice is int of input, enter your choice. Okay, now the user can put anything in here, so we want to have a few things to stop errors from happening, so some error handling. So we're going to say accept value error. We're going to call our clear function just to make it neat, and then print wrong choice, try again. Then continue. Now continue here just breaks this block and goes back up to here, and this is just a while true, so we haven't set anything false, so it's just going to carry on. Okay, next thing we want to say is if choice, so we know that it's a integer now, so if the choice is bigger than the length of topics plus 1, the user's inputted the wrong thing, haven't they? So in that case we're just going to clear and then print no such topic, try again, and continue. That'll print all the stuff at the top and they can input something else. Else if choice is equal to the length of topics plus 1, that's when we wanted to quit. The user said they want to quit the game, so print blank line and then print thank you for playing, and break, which breaks this loop. Okay, so that's the important part there. If none of that's happened, they've picked a number and they want to begin the game, so we'll say chosen topic is topics, the number they chose, and then we want the word to be random, so random.choice dataset chosen topic. Okay, and then we're going to say Hangman game with that word. Okay, so that's the menu. That's all the menu stuff done. Now we need to create this function Hangman game, and we'll do that in a second. The other thing, random is a module that we haven't imported, so we need to import random up at the top as well. Okay, so next thing to do is the Hangman game. So let's define that up here. And we're taking in a word. So let's clear first of all to make it nice and neat. So the word display is what is going to come along the bottom of the screen to start with. So we're going to just start with that being an empty list, and then we're going to say correct letters, which also is an empty list to start with, and incorrect empty list. Chances is 0 to start with, they've not had any goes. Okay, so here is Hangman values, which is a list, and we're going to put basically the body parts of the person in. So we've got head, an arm, body, leg, more body. Oops, sorry, I've messed this up somewhere. So that should be body, sorry. So this is where it gets a little bit messy to try and do it in the console, which is where we want the player to be able to play the game. But as An alternative to that would be to use some sort of GUI for Python. So again, if you want a challenge, try to implement this with a GUI. Okay, show Hangman values. So this is just going to be how they start. So they start with no body parts. So we need 7 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, now we're going to say for character in Word. So if car dot is alpha, so if it's a lowercase letter, we want Word display dot append basically a underline or whatever you call that to indicate there's a letter to be guessed there. We're also going to then add it to the correct letters. So correct letters dot append car dot upper. Now if it isn't, oops, sorry, char dot upper. If it isn't a letter, we just want to append it to the word display, so the user doesn't have to guess it. Say for instance, if we had an exclamation mark on the end of one of these, or even for the spaces, the user won't guess it. It's just going to be printed in the displayed word. Okay, now we've initialized that. We're going to say while true, because this is going to loop each time the user guesses a letter. So first of all, we're going to clear. Clear first of all, and then print Hangman. We'll define that function in a little second, but we want to do that with show Hangman values, which was these spaces. Okay, and then print word. Again, we'll define that function in a second, but word display. Print a blank line. Print incorrect characters, so the user can see the letters they've guessed wrong. If you want to make it trickier for the user, you can not show these, so they have to remember, and then just print another blank line. Okay, now we need to go and define these, print Hangman and print word. So this is just quite messy, again, because we're not using a GUI, we're just doing it in the CLI or command line. Okay, so print Hangman, and we want to take in values. So this is basically us printing our structure. So I'm going to copy and paste this, and then if you want to come up with your own structure for the game, feel free, or pause the video and get the same stuff down here. So there we go. So it's basically just the whatever you call it, the thing the man hangs from, and then we've got these spaces. You can see it'll be head, arms, body, legs, and that's why we have show Hangman values. First of all, is just a blank list. Okay, as we guess more characters, that will change. Not a blank list, but a list of spaces to fill these in with. Okay, and that's basically our print Hangman values. Our next function was print what was it? Sorry, let me just check. Print word. Okay. Come back up here. Print word. We're going to use a tab again, and then end, and we're going to say for x in values So for the letters, print X, and then we're just going to print an empty line below that. Okay. Now let's get back into the Hangman word. So we've got the Hangman values and the word display printed and the incorrect characters. So the next thing we want to do is start asking the user for input. So this is still inside our while true loop, because it's going to loop around each time we get a new character. So we're going to call it imp for input, and we're just going to prompt the user with enter a character. So again, the user can put anything in here, so we just need to do a couple of error handling things first. So if the length of that input is not equal to 1, then we want to clear and print wrong choice, try again, and then continue, and that will just loop round again for the user. Now if not imp 0, so in other words, if the first character in that is not a letter, again we want to clear and print wrong choice, try again, and you can make this error handling clearer if you like. I'm just going to go with that at the moment. And then finally, if imp.upper is incorrect, they've guessed they're a wrong letter. So, well, they've guessed one they've already tried, sorry. So let's just print already tried, and then continue. I should have had a continue here as well. Okay, so now we've got our letter, we've got some error handling, so it should be a genuine guess, one which is okay. So first thing we want to do is, if it's not in the correct letters, we want to append it to the incorrect ones. So add it onto the incorrect ones, and then show Hangman values chances equals Hangman values chances. Okay, so that's getting the first however many guesses we've got is getting the first number of items from here, from the Hangman values. Okay, and then chances equals chances plus 1. So it's basically just each time we have a guess, it's taking this and putting it here, and then it's taking this and putting it here, taking this, putting it here. Okay, and then we will call the print Hangman with that value, and it'll input the body parts one by one into here each time there's an incorrect guess, which is the premises of Hangman. Okay, now we want to say if chances equals the length of Hangman values, then they've had all their guesses. The guy is dead. So print a blank line, clear, print, we'll have a tab to space it out, and we'll just print game over. Print the Hangman to show them, and then print the word is word.upper. Okay, so we want to just show the user what they were trying to guess. And then we want to break this loop. Oops. Now I'm going to have my else here, so that, in other words, if the letter is incorrect letters, so for I in range length of word, so we're going to look through the word, the letters in the word, and check if they are the same as what the user has guessed. So equals input.upper. We're just converting everything to upper here, so it matches, and then we'll say word display I equals the user's guess if it is the right letter. Okay. Now if check when, we'll create that function in a second, but we're going to call a function on word display and check if it's 1 if the user's guessed the word, and then we're going to just print tab congratulations. If you're enjoying the videos, guys, please subscribe and like, it really helps out the channel. So we've printed congratulations. Now we're going to print Hangman win, which again we'll create that in a second, and then print that word is word.upper. So we'll just show the user it as well, even though they've guessed it. Okay, break. Now we need to create a couple of functions. So they were check when and print Hangman win. So let's create the check when function here. So we're going to define check when values, and we're going to say for character in values, if character, remember our word display was just underscores, so if that is an underscore, we want to return false. If there's any underscores left in the word, then it's not being guessed. Otherwise, if there's no underscores, we want to return true. Okay, nice little function. And then the other function we had to define, let's do it up here, is print Hangman win. Okay, again, this is just printing some formatted text, so I'm going to copy and paste it. You can fiddle about with this yourself, it is quite fiddly, or you can just pause the video and put what I've got. Okay, so what's happening here is we have got the same stuff, but the man is standing on the ground rather than being hung by rope from the top. Okay, so just to explain here why we have double backslash, it's an escape character, so we need to do another backslash again to get that backslash. With forward slash it doesn't matter, so it's a wee bit like the tab, and also if you had backslash n for a new line. Okay, and that should be everything now. So let's get our CLI up. I'm just using PowerShell, and let's try running it. So I called it hangman.py. Okay, expecting some errors here. Yeah, so what's the first error? Okay, I think there should be an underscore there. Correct underscore letters. So that is in line 83 for me. So we'll probably have a few errors like this to iron out before the game's actually working. Oh, so let's just give it a go, see if we get any other errors. So let's go Marvel characters. Okay, so there we go. Key error, Marvel characters. So something's been typed wrong there. Let's have a look. Okay, spot the mistake. Marvel characters here, the C's lowercase. So we get lowercase here, and also it's going to be the same with anime characters and DC characters. Okay, so just a little bug. Oops. Let's just minimize that a little bit. Try again. Okay, so it looks like it's working. Let's guess some letters. Okay, I tried to guess A, and we have got an error because we've got upper. So we just need one upper. That is in line 97. So you might not have these errors if you noticed them as we were going along. But yeah, it's all part of coding. So it looks like it's working. We've got incorrect letters going there. I'm not doing very good. What could that be? Marvel character. I want to try and work it out because we want to see if it wins when we actually get it right. Oh, I think I've seen it. Iron Man. Okay, congratulations. And we've saved the man. He's came down. The word is Iron Man. So it looks like that's all working. We haven't tested it fully, so if you find any errors when you're going through it, let me know in the comments. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Hope you managed to get through to the end. Let me know if you did. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and look out for more videos in the future.